everybody, welcome to Consciously Awakening podcast series episode 11. Today we have again Felicia, Noel, and today we want to speak about the fifth dimension, spirit guides, karma, ascension, and our ancestors. Get ready because we are dropping bombs. Felicia, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Actually, I'm pretty well. I'm trying to detox myself a bit more, and I'm trying to take care of my body a bit more because I realized that the body is super important. And I'm doing this lately. I'm trying to get to eat healthier and really drink healthier and really get to see what's coming out to the surface.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we should dive right into it. We should actually speak about the fifth dimension. Tell us, what is the fifth dimension?
Fifth dimension is a state of being.
It's a state of being, okay?
It's not a place you go to.
Okay.
And a state of being is a certain perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way, the one or the infinite or God, the God within is perceiving itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it means that we are becoming aware of our reflections. We are becoming aware of our state of consciousness, where when we are in 5D, we are really becoming aware of what this world is about, maybe.
Yes, what we're becoming aware from 5D perspective, what we are really becoming aware is the difference. There's a huge difference between the living being, and the social engineer persona.
What do you mean by this?
What I mean is the social engineer persona is an aspect of our being.
Mm-hmm.
It's an aspect of our being that's seeing itself in a mirror of a belief system.
Okay, and what do you think the belief system is?
Is whatever belief system one chooses to adopt.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a framework. It's a belief system, and so we have a point in our consciousness that we choose to place a part of it, a portion of it, by turning our focus within a set of belief system.
Okay, I see. So I see that the more that I raise my consciousness is the more that my mind gets free. And I think the fifth dimension is also about us turning towards love and freedom and really getting into that high state of beingness, you know. And I was wondering about ascension because I have read so many things about ascension, and I still don't know how that works and what that is actually, because I think I have experienced some ascension symptoms, but I'm not really sure what happened there, and it was really painful. It was actually a painful experience. I'm not even sure if it was ascension or not, but tell us a bit more about ascension. Is ascension related to 5D?
No, not necessarily. Ascension is another belief system that could also be a trap.
Okay.
Because we're all that is, so we exist simultaneously in all dimensions. But I think more accurately, when we speak of ascension, we could speak more of like releasing, purging, releasing. And that happens naturally in us, actually.
Yeah.
And because we get clarity, we totally come to the point in our being that we understand very clearly. There is a point of clarity, you could call it wisdom, or a point of self-awareness.
Yeah.
When you know the difference between the real human being and that social engineer persona. It's just, for example, think of a like a metaphor. Let's say you're in a garden, and then now you see the reflection in your garden in a dewdrop.
What's a dewdrop?
It's like e așa, o picătură de apă, da?
Ah, okay, a raindrop.
A raindrop.
Yeah.
Or you could also see the reflection of your garden in the windows of your house. And immediately, instantly, from within, you have the clarity. You know exactly the difference between the real garden and the one, the reflection of itself.
So I think that we should begin living in the real garden and not in the reflection, because that is just a belief system.
Yes, and when we do, that's where real life takes place, in the real garden. But in this dimension, we have it that they rise, they come up simultaneously, the garden and the reflection. They happen simultaneously.
Yeah.
You notice?
Yeah.
And people try to get rid of their belief system, or they try to get out of their belief system. And that's impossible, because you'll never get out of the reflection, because the reflection is there for us to give us this clarity. And it's only saying,
do you associate the reflection of the garden with the belief system and how we are choosing to projecting through that lens?
It's just you're showing yourself what you sustain by effort, because usually belief systems, it's either sustained by effort, by a practice, by religion, by something.
Yeah. So do you think it's good to let go of all belief systems?
Well, we let go of it every 17 seconds, or the minute we get that clarity that our focus, not our being, yes, who we are is never, it's just notices that the focus, the direction of our attention is in the mirror. That's all.
Yeah.
So it just knows I am looking at myself in a mirror. And that very clarity, we don't have to get rid of the belief system, because you can't, it's impossible. Okay. But we just understand that where our attention is directed to the belief system, we notice immediately, And that very fact, that self-aware that we notice, it doesn't get rid of the belief system, but it loses the grip, like it doesn't get a grip on us, like it doesn't grab us. And
so when you raise your consciousness, you don't necessarily have to let go of belief systems, but you have to become aware of your thoughts, you have to become aware of them. You don't have to let them go necessarily, but you have to become aware of them. And
you have to become aware of the direction of your thoughts, because what here people call negative thinking, which it's not, but what we call here negative thinking is that when we offer thoughts in the opposite direction of what we want.
Okay, I see. Interesting.
That means we have to notice that our attention is no longer with what we want. It's actually with what we don't want.
Yeah. Interesting. And so it's about really getting to focus on what you want instead of what you don't want. But what happens when we cannot find this aligned state? What happens when we cannot focus on what we want?
Well, we are the aligned state, and then we alert ourselves. You alert yourself, yes?
Yeah.
On the direction of your thoughts, you're giving yourself a signal. You're no longer focusing on what you want, and that feels uncomfortable. That feeling of being uncomfortable, it's not because you are no longer with your desire. That's not. the signal all about is because you're turning away from it.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
I
like we,
have been in moments where I was out of vibrational alignment, and I realized that being out of vibrational alignment is about resistance. When you resist, you are out of vibrational alignment.
yeah, and it's very simple. Resistance only means that your attention is directed on the opposite. Just like we spoke before, if you want to, let's say you want to go to your preferred store, to buy something, and you know when you get out of your house, you have to turn right to get there. But you're turning left instead, and then you begin not to feel good because you're going in the opposite direction.
Yeah, yeah. And you're wondering why you cannot find the store.
Yeah, and then you're frustrated, and then you blame everything and everybody for it, and you know we blame the economic system, the political system, the spiritual.
Yeah, exactly.
Teachings
So
and everything.
go to the store, guys. Go to the store. Go in the right direction.
Yeah, instead of like just realizing it's a very simple observation. It's much simpler than what we make it to be. We're giving ourselves too much effort.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And then we make we come up with all kinds of narratives to explain why we're not getting to the store, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's the wounded part of ourselves that is constantly trying to make up explanations, maybe.
Yeah, and then it says, I'm the wounded self, I have fallen from grace, I'm not good enough, I am in victimhood,
When they have made the choice of going in the left direction.
And it's like, just turn the other way, you know, that's all. And then all that falls away on its own. Yeah, it's much simpler. And I think humanity, well, not real humanity. That's what I want to really emphasize, because when we speak of belief system and we speak of going in the opposite direction of what we desire, we really are not speaking of humanity or a human being. We're speaking of humanity or a human being in the mirror of its own belief system. It's a very fundamental distinction.
Yeah, interesting. What do you think about karma? Can we create karma?
Well, we clear up every 17 seconds. We do an integration inside that cleansing, because we get alerted, the real garden, the dewdrop, every 17 seconds we really do, and then when you clear, that means what's called in Christianity, you're born again. When you get clarity, you're clear, So karma is just a perpetuated point of view, It's got nothing to do with anybody's past. Is you just perpetuate a certain perspective. And we know every perspective in consciousness is a stream, and it exists. And then means we tap into that narrative. And then we call it karma, but it's just a stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And you have a choice. And usually people think of karma again, good or bad or history. And we're not made of history. Nobody is. We're made of now.
Yeah, so it's just a stream of consciousness, and we choose if we believe in it or not, right?
Yes, you choose to put your focus there or not, and you ask if all belief systems are okay or not. It's like, well, the ones that take effort, we have to pay attention. Does it take effort for me to sustain this belief system? Does it serve me? Yeah, but usually
do you think that what is for us is meant to be easy and fun?
Absolutely, that's our natural state.
Yeah, true.
And That's how we flow.
Exactly, exactly. Because
That,
I've been in moments where I felt like I was really struggling and I wanted to get out of that state of consciousness. But what I'm realizing now is the fact that, yes, everything that is for me should be fun and easy.
and it is, even going in the opposite direction is not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you realize that you're going that way, and then you'll find your way through there as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you're conscious, I'm offering thoughts and I'm going in the opposite direction and I feel resistance in me. Yeah. The very fact that you're aware of that is going to show you a way to go through there as well.
Yeah. So even if you're going in the wrong direction, you're still ending up in the good direction.
Absolutely, because you have so much momentum going that way. Consciousness or the God within you is not going to try to stop it and turn you around. It's impossible. And
Yeah.
then it will continue, and it will continue to give you insights
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
And you will find your way, and you'll find probably a more interesting way sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so even if you can't go there from the first step, you are still ending up in that where you need to go.
It's no problem, and we all do. Every now and then, yeah, you turn in the wrong direction and you're going and you find a new way to go to the store.
Yeah, exactly.
If you let yourself forgive yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
As soon as you do, you find a way. You've lived in that city forever and didn't discover that there was another way to go to the store.
Or that there was another similar store.
Or there is another store. Whoa, ooh, that's magical. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So it means that you cannot really go wrong in life. You cannot go wrong.
No.
Because you're always ending up where you need to be. So interesting. This also gives me the power to trust. When I'm realizing this, I get the chance to trust again, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you know you've already been through something like this many times.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you decided to take to look at it in a different way, yeah, I'm going this way anyhow, so what? Yeah. And then we loosen up inside, and then we can discover even a new store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
so
you move into a different timeline.
What do you think about ancestors? How are they? Are they our spirit guides? Our ancestors?
Yes. Let's speak of ancestry first, like what it means in consciousness, and then it will tie up with how we feel them as our spirit guides. So ancestry is usually about lineage. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's lineage, how you track yourself back to the point of your awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the human being, yeah, the human being can trace itself all the way back to source, to core frequency. Yeah, that is our lineage, our true lineage. Like you could track yourself in your soul to your core frequency, to your essence. And you and I don't live on the same continent, but when we think of each other, that's how we track each other, yeah? Through that signature frequency.
Okay.
To what you represent, yeah? Because you are a focal point of all that is, of God. Yeah, and all that is, I am an expression of it, and you are an expression of it, and you carry a certain frequency. It's a unique to you.
So yeah.
So that's how we trace our lineage. Yeah, lineage. Yeah, we trace it to this original blueprint. Yeah, that we know.
If we want to connect to our lineage, we have to connect to the source of consciousness. Source consciousness.
Yeah, we are the focal point. It's streaming through us. That's why we can say we're omnipresent, because it's streaming through us. Yeah?
Interesting.
And then what we call lineage, like we have DACA or Hyperborea, you know, other countries have other lineage. That's just an expression of that knowledge.
Okay.
And then we know all that is always talking to itself. Yeah, God is always talking to itself. It's streaming through itself. Huh? And then we say, oh, this is the dialogue, like from my spirit guides. So, but that's what it is. Because let's say now you're asking me questions. So and we have a dialogue here. So it's just God speaking to itself and hearing itself. Really, there's only the one that's having a dialogue with itself. You see
because
what I mean?
we're all one source, one consciousness.
Yeah, we're just a different expression, you and I, but it's just the one speaking to itself. And that's what I always call the real dialogue, or being to being.
Yes, and this is done through the observing of the self.
Yeah, to stop in this point, to meet yourself in that point in your being, where you have this knowledge, you know that there is only the one. Yeah. And then that knowledge, you could also notice how you filter it through belief system. It's a good observation. That's what frees us. The fact that we observe it free, it makes us free.
And like I asked you before, are our ancestors our spirit guides? What are spirit guides to you?
They are us in vibrational state.
Interesting.
Yeah, in a vibratory state, because here we interpret vibration. Yes, through our five senses, or through the sixth one, through knowledge that's beyond the senses. Huh? We have another sense that's it's called self-awareness. And we call that our spirit guides, because that's where we get our source of like intuition, or self-discovery, or when we get an aha, profound.
Interesting. So it's
of ourselves.
So how do we connect to our spirit guides?
You don't have to connect, because it's flowing through you, right?
Oh, so it's already through us.
Yes, because all that is flowing through us. Yes, so it's constantly think how like I said, we live on different continents, but we perceive each other. Yes, and you could say that in that way I'm a spirit guide to you, and you are to me. You see, because we have to go to that vibrational level, in order to sense each other, to feel each other, to recognize each other, and that through our spirit.
Okay. So it means that.
So you guide yourself to me, and I guide myself to you that way. So we are to each other spirit guides as well.
Good. Thank you for being my spirit guide then.
And thank you as well. Because we have to really tune in. Yes, we're not there to touch, to hear, to we're not. And so we have to tune in order to find each other.
So it's all energetical. Interesting. Interesting.
Yes, it's all spirit or essence or beingness. Yeah, and actually that makes us know each other even better because we have to go inside. Yeah, we really do in order to sense each other's presence.
Yeah, yeah, we really have to get more sensitive.
Yes, and you have to live, and that can happen instantly. It's beyond time. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're sleeping, I'm sleeping. It doesn't matter. You can contact anybody in the world that way, and it's instant communication.
Yeah, sometimes I do receive telepathic messages. I do receive telepathic messages from other people.
Yes,
and it's
you
interesting.
do.
Interesting because it's that type of thing that if I ask them, did you really say this to me mentally? They would say no. But I'm sure that it happened in the spirit realm. You know?
Yes, exactly. So, yeah. Or you'll find that maybe you've been asking something and they haven't heard you, and all of a sudden there is a message from them.
Exactly. Exactly.
And you know the message is gonna be there. You just know it.
Yeah, a synchronicity.
Yes.
Interesting. Interesting.
That's our real dialogue. If we dialogue to belief system and narratives and all that, we end up because there is a contradiction. It's a point of contradiction in there, yeah. And then the hang-ups, and there is no dialogue there.
Yeah. So, what do you think about becoming the higher self? Because I was thinking about this lately, and am I really who's the higher self? What is the higher self to you?
It's your essence, your beingness. You already are that. You cannot become that.
Is it based on love? Can he ever send you messages out of doing something negative, or hate, or separation? The higher self?
Yeah. So hate is an aspect of this illusion of separation. Yeah. And we already established how do we create the illusion of separation by offering thoughts in the opposition. So hate or fear or any other uncomfortable feelings are guidance system. It's a signal. It's still love, but it's filtered through something. And just like frustration, yeah, maybe it's not hate, but it's frustration, a little bit of uncomfortableness, frustration, yeah, which is a signal, a guidance system from ourselves. It says you're passionate about something, you're curious, you're passionate. It's still our passion, our love for life, but the focus is on the opposite of what you're passionate about or what you love.
I see. So when we are experiencing
that's an observation that is called self-awareness. Yeah, that it's still love, it's still your passion for discovery. Yeah, going, but it's turning into feeling of frustration because frustration is a signal that now you are just offering thoughts in the opposition. And every single time you notice, just when you sit yourself, just notice the direction of your thoughts, because a lot of people don't notice. And then they don't know they're heading south instead of north. Yeah.
So we must become aware and really we have to learn to transform our energies. And this is the alchemist.
That's what does the alchemy, because in clarity, alchemy happens, and it happens on its own. That's why we get alerted right away between the difference, the real garden and the dewdrop. Immediately, it's natural. That feeling of uncomfortableness, yeah, that's a natural feeling. It's a reaction, just like you want to know you're running out of gasoline in your car, yeah? You want to have some kind of guidance in there, some kind of needle. You want to be alerted. So God within our being alerts us when you are beginning to effort because of the focus of your thoughts.
Okay, so do you think that true manifestation is effortless?
It flows, whether you go with your desire or not. It has its own trajectory and it's fulfilling itself. And when you feel uncomfortable, the only thing that is telling you is that come with me. That's all. You birthed me. I'm you.
Yeah. So we're always guided. We're always inspired.
Okay.
Nice.
Absolutely.
But when we go against it, we feel uncomfortable.
Yes, we do, because it takes more effort. But when you notice the effort disappears, and like I said, if you have too much momentum, just keep going. Don't turn around, because you will still be inspired where you're at.
Yeah.
You can always get inspiration no matter what level of consciousness you're in or what room in consciousness. It doesn't matter. It's available to us. It's always available. Always.
Yeah. What do you think about spiritual battles? What is spiritual battle? Because I have heard about this term spiritual battle, and I'm still not sure what it is.
Well, it's the battle of that you have with yourself when you put effort into it, because effort is not natural. And then we have a stream in consciousness, or we have a realm, that a certain part of collective consciousness, they focus there. Yeah?
Okay.
And then it magnifies, and then they say there is a spiritual battle, but it's like it's in your mind, it's in your belief system. Yeah.
Okay.
Spirit does not fight with itself, it flows.
Okay. I see. Interesting. So interesting. Yeah. So thank you for this amazing knowledge. Thank you.
Well, I think hopefully because we already know this is just a reminder. It's just a reminder of that point in clarity, these narratives, because they're floating around everywhere right now. Yeah. But spiritual battles, what else is in there? All kinds of things. Entities, that's astral realm, man-made projection of thoughts based on fear. Yeah, they're not real. Actually, that is not real. It's not reality. It's a reality in a mirror of itself. It's not real.
I see.
It's actually it's not happening. That's why it feels like a torture.
Okay.
It's not real.
Interesting, but I still believe in the astral realm. I still believe in it, and I think it may be real.
It feels real. Of course, the battle, it feels real, but the thing itself is not.
Okay.
Not. Yeah, of course it feels real, because the battle with you have to go in there, and but a spirit never goes against itself. It just flows.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, thanks so much. I think that we have covered all the 5 topics.
All right.
And thank you for being here with us, guys, on the 11th episode. Felicia, thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again, and thank you for all the amazing knowledge.
Thank you for all the amazing questions.
Of course, like always. We're gonna end now, guys. Thanks for watching, and if you want to be part of this type of podcast, feel free to send me a private message. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment. And if you wish to work with us or with me personally, feel free to also send me a message, and you will develop yourself in a spiritual way. So Felicia, thank you for being here with me.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.